Hello viewers, thank you so much for choosing Mokwa Times. Ever since 2022, we've had some prominent deaths occurring in the country as we speak. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I want to take you through. Basically looking at these people, these individuals, and then I'll take you through some of the common things amongst all these deaths that have occurred in the country. But before I take you through, if this is the first time you're watching my videos here, please take a second or two, subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. The first person who passed on was General Francis Ogolla. Francis Ogolla died out of an aeroplane accident where it simply had a problem and crashed in the Rift Valley when he went to do what you call inspection of the projects that were being done at that particular region. Doubts came over his death. People were saying, oh, it was not natural, it was planned and stuff. But eventually the family came out and said General Francis Ogolla died out of an accident, that they were very close to President William Ruto. However, the reason as to why there were these doubts is because of those allegations that were made against Francis Ogolla by the people in government right now. There were allegations that he tried to overturn the results of 2022 to make Raila Odinga president. He was sent by the people in the deep state, allegedly by that time, to go and overturn the results.
General Ogolla is among the people who went to bomb us to try and overturn my victory.
And that is what William Ruto said, plus many other leaders. People came out from William Ruto's side to warn him.
Ogolla na Kioni.
Eventually, he went and died. So people started connecting these things. But later on, the family came out and said the father died out of an accident. And when the results came about the aeroplane crash, it was clear that it was a mechanical problem that developed. Also, the family came out and gave strong statements in relation to the relationship between William Ruto and General Francis Ogolla. And they're saying they were very close, working together for the best and posterity of this country. Number two, it is Raila Odinga's bodyguard. That is by the name George Odour. George Odour was one of the closest and the most trusted Raila Odinga's bodyguard, well-trained, well-experienced. He always supported Raila Odinga in all occasions. He was always with Raila Odinga in various parts of this country. This gentleman eventually died. And in fact, people say that after George Odour's death, there is where we had Raila Odinga's problems start. They are saying that even Raila Odinga, before he ate food, George Odour could test fast. When Raila Odinga is taking Uji, for those who understand what I mean, Raila Odinga was always controlled by George Odour. Could stop him, tell him, no, Mzee, this is enough. When Raila Odinga is in trouble, and you realize that George Odour is able to know something is not right here, he could simply evacuate Raila Odinga immediately. Many other politicians, including William Ruto, plus many other leaders, have benefited from George Odour's security expertise, and that is very important. So this gentleman was also close to Raila Odinga and also close to William Ruto. So by the time he died where Raila Odinga is in broad-based government and very close to William Ruto. That's number two. Number three, it is Raila Amolo Odinga, the Enigma, Baba himself. This gentleman, he passed on recently, and Kenyans mourned until now. They're still mourning. As we speak today, ladies and gentlemen, people are not satisfied with Raila Odinga's death. Why? It came too early. Second, it came where the country is in the hands of William Ruto, where everyone in the country, a huge percentage of Kenyans do not trust him at all. So people are expecting Raila Odinga to be a savior to some extent. But now, after Raila Odinga's death, fear is all over. People are wondering now, in case there's a demonstration today, who is going to have a handshake? Rigathi Gachagua, Dr. King of Fred Matiang'i? Who was the people? Those are the questions that are being raised. Nevertheless, Raila Odinga's death was also sudden. People started spreading Raila Odinga is not there, he has passed on. And eventually reports came out from India that Raila Odinga has passed on. Now, the death of Raila Odinga was so fast. Sick within a short time, he's gone. Just the same thing with George Odour, his 8. So, General Francis Ogolla, Raila Odinga and George Odour all left a gap. Because now when you say Raila Odinga security, one man down, that is not a gap that can be replaced that easy. Most especially considering that George Odour has been with Raila Odinga ever since. So in a nutshell, that was a big blow to not just the entire nation, but also to Raila Odinga and his family as well. What are the common things between George Odour, Raila Odinga, and Francis Ogolla? Now, number one, all these people come from the same region, Luo Nyanza. George Odour is from Luo Nyanza. Raila Odinga is from Luo Nyanza. Francis Ogolla from Luo Nyanza. So it is a community that lost big people within their society. Another thing that you have to state is that all these people are close to Raila Odinga. When you look at Francis Ogolla was one of the most closest persons to Raila Amolo Odinga. And even actually, the accusations that were made against him, it was as a result of his closeness to Raila Amolo Odinga. When Francis Ogolla died, we could see the wife very close to Raila Amolo Odinga, could see Raila Amolo Odinga and felt like, this is the person I can trust. A clear indication that these people were very, very close. So I've stated here categorically that Raila Amolo Odinga lost a very close person. When it comes to Odour, someone's been your bodyguard for the past many, many years. In the entire lives you've been in politics. And now he passes on. That's a very big blow to you. So in a nutshell, you can also see it clearly that Raila Amolo Odinga lost someone who was very close to him. The other thing that we cannot forget to state it here, it is that all these people are close to William Ruto. In that, Francis Ogolla died not as an enemy of William Ruto, but a very close person of William Ruto. People had speculations that they are enemies here and stuff, but when the family came out to speak during the funeral, they said very well, they were very close. The son was always supporting and telling people that the father and William Ruto were very, very close friends. When you go to Odour, William Ruto has come out to testify that Odour assisted them in various occasions, which is very important. So which means he also died while close to William Ruto. With Raila Amolo Odinga in broad-based government, Odour was also part of the broad-based government. When it comes to Raila Amolo Odinga, everyone knows that Raila Amolo Odinga died while in broad-based government with William Samoei Arap Ruto. Very, very close friends. The sources says that people say that even when Raila Amolo Odinga was being taken to India, William Ruto gave a private jet to take Raila Amolo Odinga to India. When they were deciding where to go for treatment, William Ruto's doctor assisted to settle on a doctor who was to assist Raila Amolo Odinga. So Raila Amolo Odinga communicated with William Ruto now and then, sharing on his health here and there. So eventually, Raila Amolo Odinga died, and this was very unfortunate. But the fact remains, the stories we are getting right now, these people are very, very close. Now, that is the common thing that has happened. All these leaders were very close to each other, but most importantly, were close to William Samoei Arap Ruto. The other thing that's also very common amongst all these leaders, it is that these were all sudden deaths. They all died unexpectedly. Ogolla was okay, doing his stuff, going for his inspection, then an aeroplane crash, here he is, he dies. Raila Amolo Odinga, very active politically, though he was looking to be weak this time around, but suddenly we received news from India that Raila Amolo Odinga is no more. As we are seated waiting for this to happen, we realized that Odour was sick, only to get an announcement that Odour died, I think, in Nairobi hospital, and that is it. So all these deaths were very sudden and left gaps that cannot be filled by anyone. I don't know what is your take, but those were the things I was able to learn from these deaths that have occurred ever since 2022. May God rest the souls of these giants in eternal peace, and also give strength to the families that were left behind, and most importantly, at least God finds a way to fill the gaps that were left in the Kenyan space. I don't know what's your take on the comment section. Feel free to share with me on what you think about these deaths that have occurred in Kenya. See you next time for more videos. My name is Abel Mukwa.